Hello and welcome to the UiPath Essentials training. In the previous video, we discussed variable types and uses. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at the ways of extracting data from many different sources. Let's begin. Most of the data handled in UiPath is text, also referred to as string. Robots can receive text inputs from various sources, emails, files, or via screen scraping, and can generate text as output for applications, emails, files, and log reports. There's also a third scenario here, which doesn't fall into the input-output categories. Text, which is processed internally by the robot, like in the case of selectors, names, or file paths. To set an initial value for a string variable, we can type right here in the Variables pane. A string value is a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes. If the text itself contains quotes, we need to write them twice so they're not interpreted as string delimiters. This is a trick known as escape sequence. The newly created variable is now ready to be used in expressions. Let's try it with an if. We can build simple expressions with Visual Basic operators, or we can use some of the predefined methods of the string data type. Let's type dot after the variable name, and a list of available methods pops up. We have some pretty useful functions here, like contains, remove, replace, split, to lower, and trim. For this example, let's pick contains. This method returns a true or false value, depending on whether a word or phrase is found within a text. This is particularly useful in situations where the status of an operation is reported by an application-generated message with particular keywords like success. To simulate how a robot would react, let's use the two message boxes as action placeholders. If the message string contains the word success, the robot will follow the first branch, displaying the message, here would be more processing. Otherwise, it will go with the second branch, displaying here we'd report an exception. Let's run this. As you can see, the robot has reported an exception, as the word success is not contained in the message string. Now, let's create a new variable called status, where we'll store the text from the application's status bar. Say operation completed successfully, record number has been created. We'll use this variable for the condition and run the process again. This time, as you can see, the first branch gets executed. Let's extend our example and assume further processing is needed based on the record number created. We need an assign activity to build an expression that will help us retrieve that number. The split method is very useful to extract parts of a text when they are delimited by known markers. In our case, the number comes between spaces. The result of a split operation is an array of string values containing all the pieces between the delimiters. Using space as a delimiter, our example will return an array with 8 elements. The fifth one, with index 4, is the number that we're looking for. So, let's define a variable for the result, parts, and then display the extracted number in a message box. Perfect. Split offers an alternative for achieving this extraction. In our example, the number is delimited by the words record and has. By pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus space, while the cursor position is between the braces, we can investigate more split options. We can use this one, taking in an array of string delimiters. Let's supply as argument to the split method an array with the words record and has. Notice that we've included the spaces in the markers as well. A second argument to the split method specifies if we want empty elements in the results, but in our case, right now, this option doesn't really matter. In this new scheme, we expect the number to be identified as the second element, which has index of 1. Let's check it though. And there you have it. That was all for today. In this lesson, we focused on string variables and how they can be extracted and processed using many different functions. Next time, we'll talk about data assembly. See you soon.